of Nigeria have failed. It's not about the parliament, it's about the executive. This is the coconut of everything we are talking about. We have to break it and tell ourselves the truth. It's not, look at when Tinubu was declared. The first thing he started is to call the National Assembly members. You saw the proof with one excitement of one member that was elected under the platform of Labour Party, who was so much excited that he met with a man that was wrongly declared and he had to speak overboard. Pure excitement. And he spoke overboard, forgetting that he's challenging that man's victory. He called them in the villa because he wanted to run a unity government, to use it to deceive Nigerian citizens, to use it to deceive the electorate who voted for PO. So many of them now came together. He convinced them into the reason why they will have to vote Ababio. Ababio was anointed by Tinubu. Abbas was anointed by Tinubu. Who is the chief of staff to Tinubu? Chief of staff to Tinubu is Femi Gbajabiamila, who was a rubber stamp speaker for Buhari. So our problem is in the executive. I'm sorry to say this, but anybody that is angry on this space should please calm down. Let's hear. It's an open mic. If you have an idea of what we need to do, share it with me. If you have an idea, it's not about, I have somebody say he's waiting for me to speak so that he can ask me some challenging questions. I am not here to answer questions. If you meet me, you know that I'm as disappointed as you are. I am crying as much as you are crying. It is my generation and your generation that is being messed up. So we are handicapped. Even the party you are talking about, have you asked yourself, who is funding this party? There are a lot of activities. For example, I wanted to engage the system. Just this week on 25th, we want to turn Abuja around, make a courtesy call on the TUC, NLC, and even submit a petition in the National Assembly. But do you know what? No funding for me to get all my youth leaders from the states to Abuja and host them for like 3 days. Labour Party has been in perpetual opposition before now, before the coming of PO. No sponsorship, no president ever, only one governor. And that governor have promised to deliver the people of Abia. And that governor cannot leave governance to fund the party. So you see that the party is challenged. Somebody said that the party sold, one woman in one function said the party sold forms for how many candidates in Imo State, they did this in Bayelsa, did that. But people see the success, but they don't know the story behind the success. Yes, they calculated that they said they sold from 25 million, but is it all of them that paid 25 million? Labour Party is a family party. We don't speak out engagement with individuals. You don't hear it on the news. It's not all of them that pay the money. And 10 million have been asked to refund to many of them because we are a family party. And not all of them paid complete. Paid even up to 15. You don't know the amount that they paid. And now, those that didn't even pay are the one causing problem in the party. Now, the party has been in court. This guy, the Apapa group has been given money to destroy the party so that P2B will be attacked. The party is battling in court, spending millions of naira. They go and pay judges 40 billion to give injustice, to give wrong judgment. There are a lot of tears. There are a lot of pains that the party is undergoing. I'm sorry to be saying this, but this is a very challenging time in Nigeria. And I challenge every one of us on this space to know that the time is now. There's no going back. So it's not about pointing finger on 35 persons you elected to face 360 persons. When you minus 35 from 360, what you have is what? About 325. What impact, what tangible impact do you think that this 35 will make on that law? Given the little conditions that I've given and I've narrated, So the issue is that let's not lose our focus on the mandate we are looking for. If we get Mr. P2B, I've engaged in several meetings. People, for example, last 2 weeks, we met with all the elected officers. These things that we are sharing here on this space, we are reiterated. Many of them share their challenges. Many of them share their understanding of what they need to do. I can tell you this for free. Most of them, in fact, majority of them are passionate of the work, the enormous work they have to do on that floor. Majority of them are passionate. Why there are a few of them that if even ask me to start a process of recall if I'm from their constituency, I will start it immediately. But majority of them are passionate. In fact, majority of them, each time the party calls them, each time PO calls them for a meeting, they attend. There is no meeting that they have been called. In fact, since they started, we've met with them more than 7 times. And I know majority of them that are passionate, they're always attending those meetings, sharing the ideas, telling us what has been happening and the transactions and the businesses that's going on the floor of the National Assembly. But then, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. It's a parable. Because the purple is inside the water and you carry the baby and the water and you throw them away. This is the first time that through you, Joe Biden, Nigeria felt revolution. This is the first time that the party, because of the commitment of all Joe Biden, we're able to produce 35 House of Rep members. It is not a magic. It is not an instant success. Definitely, we must get there. Let's not start now to complain. Let's rather add more effort, add more strength, add more flavor. If me would have planned, if I don't mean I didn't say it, no people, there are a lot of people that are saying, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? People only talk. People only see the periphery. They don't see the deep. They don't see the under. I presented all this to the party. The party showed me accounts, showed me the account. Is it PO that is funding the courts that I will go to fund the protest, the demonstration, and the petition I want us to move and go to the National Assembly and submit? Or is it PO that I will call to come and give me money to mobilize people? Because you can't bring people out now. Somebody said people are trekking. How are you sure that somebody will not faint? Trekking from his house to come and protest in front of National Assembly, he won't even have resources to give him a cup of water. He won't even transport him back in this trying time in Nigeria. This is a very difficult time. I want to just stop for a while so that people will share the idea. But I want us to share our ideas with understanding that this thing is paining all of us. That there is nobody that is somebody funded my visit to the UK, where I spent time with a lot of our people in the UK. And personally, I saw development. I saw that the system trusts the people and the people trust the system. Here in Nigeria, the system don't trust you and you don't trust the system. Even while you are driving, you want to pass the traffic. You are careful because somebody will see that there is red light, the traffic has stopped him, but he can ram into you. But in the UK, in all those places where you are in US, most of you are, if you step on the pedestrian lane, all vehicles will match brake. So most of us will use those templates to make it work in Nigeria. Is not automatic. We have to put our eyes on the particular mandate that brought us together. Remember that most obedience say that they only know P2B, they will never vote this candidate, and which put us into problem across the country. Assuming that we are united, we believe that the party supremacy is one, and we stood against most of the people that the party projected to win majority of the parliamentary votes, today will be a different story. But because a lot of obedience are, I'm sorry to use this word, selfish about what they pursued. They only saw Mr. P2B. They never saw that this parliament is another key area. And many of them only pushed seriously for PO and they never pushed for parliamentarians. Today, the same cry is that assuming we don't have majority in the parliament, but we have number one, which is PO, this will not be like this because the executive order, one executive order will stop all this mess. One executive bill will end all this policy issue that we are having. They are trying to emulate our manifesto, things written by PO, but they don't know that there are formulas in those manifestos which they didn't see. The formulas that we intend to use to bring about the practical experience of consumption to production, they don't have it. Yes, we said we will remove subsidy, but we never said it's going to be instant, and we never said that the citizens are going to suffer for the removal of subsidy. We said that we are going to remove it, but first and foremost, there must be palliative. How can you come and give a citizen, a family, a household, 8,000 per month, and you are giving 12 million people out of a country of 200 million persons? You are giving 12 million out of 200 and something million persons, households in Nigeria. And now, how do you identify the poor? When I worked in the National Assembly, this palliative, they will ask the rep to bring list. They will ask the senators to bring list. They will ask the governors to bring list. Those that are no longer participatory in politics, those households in the rural areas that don't know anybody in politics, who will nominate them for this palliative? Nobody. So it's crazy what is happening in Nigeria. And sometimes I cry, but people don't see the tears. And that is my worry. And that is why some people will come and hit me on spaces, beat the party, do this. I cry. The party have more than 20 court cases. Leadership also, our people are being with their cases are being withdrawn from court. The party is on their head. But they are handicapped as well. You know, so I am not saying this to defend our 35 parliamentarians, but I'm saying this for us to understand the difficulties of the terrain which they are on, you know, and the speakership and the Senate presidency, they are the people that will take the tone in the National Assembly. And no matter how intelligent you are, these guys can catch you. I know what I'm saying. No matter how intelligent you are, of course, Nigerian system, people that are intelligent are not given opportunities. The same way it is where you are, where you've seen first class trekking. I see somebody that left school with pass, being employed in your very in your front. And it will happen to you. They use federal character. They use all manner of permutation and combination to tell you that the person that got top class, that got pass, will now be your director. Why you that you stood and you kept your senses, you sat down and read. Not those that acquired first class. There are people that read and acquired it. They deserve to be empowered. But they are not. They trade the streets. That is Nigeria. The same thing happened in National Assembly, where the most intelligent legislators are kept behind. So, lastly, before I yield the mic so that other people will make input, they are jostling for committees to know if they will put them in one or two committees, because eventually, if they don't do anything for their constituents, they stand to be voted out. So right now, there is serious jostling, campaigning, lobbying for committee chairmanship and committee membership. It is the last phase of leadership tussle in National Assembly. Once these committees come out, every legislator will now be on his own. By that time, you'll start seeing the fireworks. For those that doesn't understand the intricacies and how these things work, I don't blame them. But for those that understand, let's continue to engage people and educate them the need for us to be patient. The time has come for us to be pulled out of the pit. You know, we were not making noise all these years that they've mismanaged our resources, mismanaged our mentality. You see somebody that is 50 years being proud to answer a PA to even local government chairman. What an irony. You see a man that is 40 years running for councillorship in local council election. What an irony. You see a grandfather running for House of Reps, where we have able-bodied young men and women that knows what policy formulation is, and they know how to engage the system. You see people that have even, they go with walking stick to come to parliament. Parliament is a place that you can even fight to defend your constituents. But when you have somebody, I'm sorry, this is not with, I'm not saying this with prejudice to our brothers and sisters that may be handicapped. When you see somebody that's handicapped, it's fine. There's somebody that age have introduced handicap into his life. You know, that is totally different. There are sound, our brothers and sisters are very sound. Some of them, they read by Braille, but they are very sound. We can vote them as young as they are, vote them into the parliament to you know, pursue policy formulations. But we don't follow them, we don't support them, because people see the handicap in them. So I'm not trying to talk about those type of people. I'm talking about people that age have introduced that handicap to. You know, you see 60 years old person in House of Rep, because our generation has been going backward all these years. So before we start pointing the 35 Labour Party House of Rep members, let's point to ourselves. Thank you very much. Please don't beat me and don't throw me away with the bathwater. I'm part of you. I'm going through what you are going through. Please. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. What a wonderful submission from you. Jimmy, you're welcome. You're welcome. Sir, you made mention of fund issues or something like that. You said you guys had an appointment. You were supposed to meet on the 25th of this month, but due to lack of funds, you guys can't meet again or something. I don't know if I heard you correctly, sir. I was thinking maybe you could share with us, maybe with me or something, or if you are also free to say it or here on space, how much, like, when you guys lack funds, like, you know, even if it's like, I don't know how much you guys actually need, but I feel like with over 10,000 obedience in diaspora, if you should contribute, even if it's like just like, let's say 1,000 naira each, it could go like a long way. So when you say funds for meeting, 1,000 naira times 10,000 might be like, I don't know how many million, about like 10 million, I don't know, I hate mathematics. But
my brother, thank you. You know, when you say funds, I have 36 youth leaders from across the state plus FCT 37 with their 3 zonal youth leaders across the country. We are supposed to do some events, especially we are supposed to do a solidarity march to even that tribunal. We are supposed to do a solidarity march to say that we demand justice from the Court of Appeal. We want to go to the Nigerian Labour Congress to tell them to release our young people that are employed under the federal government, state government, to release them, because we definitely Occupy the Street is coming. Whether anybody believes or not, let me hear it from me. We must occupy the streets of our nation. We must take back our country. Enough must be enough. And these guys, my youth leaders have even said that they are going to transport themselves. But accommodation in FCT, they are not going to sleep under the gutters. Then the party don't even have like 5 million to put the accommodation for 2-3 days for some of them. Then we're not talking about feeding or whatever, but they said they are going to even feed themselves. They're going to even transport themselves to FCT. But nobody is supporting me. And this is a youth assignment. These are things that we must do, practical things. It's not talking. Talking is part of it, but we must engage the system practically. We must do physical things, physical engagement. We must do press conferences, physical press conferences that we hit the system up. We must walk the street of Abuja to prove that we are angry with the system. So when I mean funding, it's too diverse. But if you have interest, we can share the budget. Even Mickey can share the budget. Mickey knows our programs and the things we need to do. He knows all of them, but I'm trying to calm things down because when I go to the party, we are in court. When I go to my principal, we are in court. He's the only one funding this court case? He's a human being. Who do I run to? Will I run to the same obedient who suffered, paid? It's not like Nigeria where people make money without working. Every of our diasporans work hard to make every $1. And I know the investment many of you have put in this election. Should I still come back to you to start telling you to raise money for our project? I'm handicapped.
Okay, sir.
Imperfect, can I say something?
Yeah, let me just.
Good. Sorry, sir, I've listened to you, and you know what? You don't understand the power behind good governance in Nigeria. You need to understand how passionate we are about getting things right in Nigeria. And the point is that after this meeting, we actually need to have this offline meeting with you for us to talk about their obedience, whose role, what they do is fundraising. And what they do is trying to get, there are people who want to do protests. We're even holding them and saying, leave. PO doesn't want protests. But every day we're on WhatsApp and people want to fund protests. They are obedient who want to, in this part of the world, they're lobbyists. And every constituency have people that actually give money for certain bills to be passed. People pay, like if you want a bill to pass, you have people who are pushing it, who are sponsoring it. And we are aware of that. What we want from everything you've said, what we want is our representative to come to us, talk to us. They need to be with obedience, talking to us, telling us what they want to push, telling us what is stopping them from pushing it. And let me tell you, when it comes to funding, I know a lot of obedience are here who are willing to sacrifice a lot to get Nigeria where they are. Sorry, sir. If it is funding for protests, if it's hotel bill for our youth leader to be in Abuja or anything, what we need to do is, and if you are here, I know a lot of people who are here what their specialty is funding. Please reach out to Nikki, reach out to Imperfect, reach out to me. Let's have a meeting and let's think about how can we get this out. If the national youth leader is planning this, let's support him, because at the end of the day, the protest must be done. These people are not going to give us our mandates, even if the tribunal disqualified him, he's going to go to the Supreme Court. They need to know that we are serious. From what we are getting from the news, there are things happening. And until they know that we are serious, they will think they can, riddle on us or do whatever. So, sir, I think these are discussions that needs to happen. Funding should never be an issue, because obedience in diaspora especially, we are there to help. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Life Issues. Guys, fellow obedience, I know things are difficult now. Let us don't, let us forget about obedience in Nigeria. Jimmy, I don't know if we can do like a $5 challenge or a £4 challenge or something. Because I just checked now, $5 times $10,000 is like almost $50,000. That way, it will go like a long way. Oh, Jimmy, what do you think? Are you there, Jimmy?
Yeah, good morning, Imperfect. Good morning, everyone. Prince Kennedy, good morning. So from my side, I'm sorry. Good morning from my side. Good day to you guys. I've been listening all along. Welcome, everybody, once again. All obedient and non-obedient on the space. We're all clamoring for a better Nigeria, and we will get it, no doubt. Right. So to start with, Prince Kennedy, let me make a correction. You said 12 million people the other time. It's actually 12 million households, not 12 million people. So that aside, in regards to the whole funding thing, I think I have my reservation on that. I'm not sure what the funding is going to be for, but I think we should. I think we should be careful when it comes to this whole, money funding thing. Here's the reason why. We don't want a situation whereby they tag diasporans as the one raising money to fuel anarchy. We're dealing with a different kind of government right now. I'm in support of any donation we want to do. But for the protest, well, I know one way or the other we'll eventually get there. But I think we should, if there's a way we can actually raise the money at the background, raise the money, and it should be saved somewhere, it will come in handy at a point in time. But I mean, there's an open space. It's more like, because these guys, they go around social media platform, cropping messages, cropping spaces, and all that. My point is, we don't want a situation whereby whatever it is we do here will affect our court case. That is what I'm actually bothered about. I don't want a situation whereby whatever we do will affect our court case. So what is this money for exactly? Is it for the protest or to support the legislators or the LP legislators in the House? And what's it called? Is it life issues? Yeah, you made a very compelling point that the obedient movement can actually make things happen, and they should not underestimate the power of the obedient movement, because whatever we determine to do, we go all out and get it done. So I think to start with, regardless of what Prince Kennedy has spoken to us about, I think we should have an engagement with these legislators. We need them to come on Twitter and have a conversation with us. You're speaking on their behalf. We need to hear from the horse's mouth. We need to know what is good, because the way we think, there could be a contract of secrecy when they get in there, that they don't get to speak regarding anything that happens in the House. We need to hear from them. What are the things you're planning to do? What is stopping you from getting those things done? Why is it taking long for these things to get done? Because when we have these conversations with them and they tell us what their obstacles are, it could be just the tweet or hashtag that puts pressure on a lot of things what people don't understand. And this is how the hashtag works. When we concentrate on a particular hashtag, when it trends, right, the next day, not just Arise, a lot of stations around the world, they look at what is trending in some certain areas, or even if it's worldwide, they look at what is trending and they pick on that and speak about it. So if Arise, for instance, talking about the local team based in Nigeria, if Arise, for instance, picks it up, it would be a topic for them to debate on, for them to talk about on the TV station. And from that, it's spreading up across the whole nation. So we need to have this engagement with these guys. We need to speak to these people. We need to understand what is going on in that house. What is happening? Are you guys seeing, for instance, the 25 million budget they just allocated to them? Initially, we were told each household will get 8,000 naira. And afterwards, they changed it. No one is getting 8,000 naira anymore. Instead, they're using the money to buy grains and fertilizers to give 50 million farmers and household combined together, 50 million. So grains and fertilizer. But the 70 million is still going to the National Assembly, which consists of the senators and the House of Reps. All in total, 469 or thereabouts. And they're giving them 70 billion. If you divide the 70 billion by 496 people, each of them will be going home with 25 million, approximately 25 million every month. Each person. So it's one thing for them to pass that bill. It's another thing because we have a video of it when Akpabio was knocking on the armor. Nobody could actually speak. Now that you're telling us that they can silence them, they can I mean, it's probably what they told you, but we need to speak to these people because we voted for them to be there. They need to come and speak to us because it is from what they tell us we know how to go about it. And I love the compelling point you made about once Peter Obi gets into power. I've been saying that too for a very long time. Once the head is right, whatever it is going on will be corrected. It's just an executive order. Just one single executive order will change a lot of things, honestly speaking. So, but this is just my own opinion. But I'm open to counter submission. We're here to learn. People might come up with a compelling point, compelling reason for us to, have this necessarily. And I mean, it's an open space. We'll talk about this with dialogue, and we'll move forward. All we want is the betterment of that country, and we'll do every single thing to make sure it works. We've gotten over, $20 billion thereabouts this past electionary period, sent from diaspora to Nigeria, $20 billion all over the place. So it's very important. Let's talk about it. Let's dialogue. I'm here to listen. I'm here to co-host with my Oga here, Imperfect, and we'll see what we can do just to make things right. Thank you, Ayub, for now.
Thank you, Jimmy. Please let me chip in something. I am sorry. This issue of funding, I think this was just an outburst from me because this is the first time. If you have been following me, this is the first time that I mention things around funding. I'm a very careful person. In fact, I don't want us to dwell on that funding aspect. Let's discuss the issue that we gathered here for. Let's forget about that funding issue because most times you are right, Jimmy. We are in a very open platform. Anybody could be here to just, try to get what we are saying. Let it not be that the Labour Party national leader, tomorrow it will be on the headlines, National Labour Party leader solicits for international funding to execute manner of nonsense, in the country. So let's just let other people that will speak, let's just forget about that. Even if there's an interest in supporting my office, let it be done strategically with Imperfect, Life Issues, Mickey, and Jimmy as well, and any other person that wants to be involved. And again, I promise that I'm going to get the leader of the House of Reps, Caucus, to engage on this same Imperfect space because we've started a lot. Imperfect has been consistent with us. He has hosted us. I think this is the second time, or Mike, I think this is the second or third time. So he's going to plan out with Mike again. We'll have him on space. I will communicate with him and find out the convenient time. And everybody that people want to also get in touch with, I'm willing to share their phone numbers. And Jimmy is wrong. I don't speak for them. I'm only speaking on youth involvement. And I just spoke because I've worked in the National Assembly and I know how things are working there. I'm not saying I'm speculating. I've worked in the National Assembly and I can give a list of some of the celebrated motions on the floor of the National Assembly that I authored. Me, Prince Kennedy Chigozie Alutu, wrote it from beginning to the end. And is celebrated on that floor. I can give you the list. So I am saying what I know that is happening on the floor of the National Assembly. So I'm not trying to prove why they are not doing anything or why they are not talking, and I'm not speaking for them. I'm only trying to tell our people to calm down and understand that me and you, we agree that if the head is correct, Nigeria will change within 2 years. Because people that I've worked closely with that I know will not look back. There are a lot of things. People brought money, people brought all manner of support. DO turned them down because they come with options. If we give you $200 billion, you give us 10 slots for ministerial appointment. DO is not that kind of person. He's purely interested in salvaging the situation in Nigeria. That was why he is not engaged with all those things, with all those funding and all manner of support people we are bringing. So please, let's tone down, remove this funding aspect from me. But I was broken. I just have to speak out. Some of the projects that my office wanted to do is funding that is delaying it. That's the truth. But I don't want us to dwell on it with respect to this space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful response, and I totally respect that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Back to you, Patrick.
All right, thank you so much. Let us go to Nkechi, then go to OTK, Sarah, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Imperfect. Good morning, everyone. I was going to speak regarding the funding to say that we better forget about it for now, Imperfect. But I'm so glad that Prince Kennedy, spoke before me and actually said my mind. Imperfect, I do understand your zeal, and you're someone who is always very proactive in, offering help and wanting to do whatever you can in any given situation. But I don't think this is the right time and the right place to discuss that funding thing. But I'm glad it's been dealt with, so there's no point me overflogging it. Prince Kennedy, thank you for coming, and some of the things you said this morning, has brought a lot of clarity to me, and I believe to some other people. I've always said that when people started saying, oh, the Labour Party members, why are they not speaking, not members, I mean, House of Reps and senators, why are they not speaking about the whatever billion that's been allocated and all that? I felt like, some of us that were saying it, we are just re-echoing narratives from the opposite parties, and I didn't feel comfortable about it. I didn't think, as much as we believe, we are all very eager to see Nigeria working, but we should also try to incorporate what is practical in most times. So I felt like it was too early to start judging these people, saying that they've been bribed, they've been compromised, and all sorts of things that I've heard people say. This was us just amplifying the voices of people from APC, because they started saying this in order to spite Labour Party and obviously to spite Labour Party supporters. So, but I'm happy that Prince Kennedy, you have say that you're going to try to bring some of these people, to obedient platforms like this one and other platforms. So the earlier you can make this arrangement, the better, because people, we are all nervous. There's so much going on. The court case, people don't know what to expect. The hardship in the country and all that has just put people in very difficult positions. And now there's beginning to be lack of trust. And that is one place that Labour Party don't want to be. Labour Party has been very lucky to gain a lot of goodwill from people, and you do not want to lose that goodwill. So when people begin to lack trust, to feel like, oh, these people, they only took advantage of us, we spent our money, we spent our time, we risked our life to put them in power, hoping that they are going to be different. Now, they have only climbed on all this to become something different. It's going to bring, Labour Party will be the ones to lose anyway, and we don't want Labour Party to be in that position. We want to continue supporting the Labour Party and the P2B as much as we can. So the earlier we can have these senators and House of Rep members speaking to us in their own voices, explaining to us what it is that they are doing, what it is that has been holding them back, and what their plans are moving forward. I think the earlier it will, the better. The earlier we'll start salvaging the situation. I've also been thinking on my own, trying, apart from spaces and apart from social media, how else can they engage? They can make videos. Well, social media still has to do with small snippets of videos of them speaking that they can upload, in their own social media platforms, like maybe Facebook, for most of them that use Facebook. This YouTube and all that. These videos will start trending, and a lot of people will start sharing it, and those information will start getting from ear to ear. So it's not just about engaging us on spaces, because obviously it's not everybody that goes to space. So there are so many other ways that they can do these things for us to hear what they think, because the whole place is so quiet at the moment, and that quietness is what is scaring. That is what people are afraid of. Okay, what is going on? Why is everywhere so quiet? Why do we not hear their voices? Why do we not know what they are doing? So that is why, it's created a lot of tension. And but it's good that you guys have started in the process of redeeming things. Like having you here, is going to open up a whole lot of other avenues for us to start regaining this trust that we seem to be lacking. And apart from P2B, that we know, okay, he's upright, and he engaged like every day. He make posts, he updates. We know what he's doing. Every other person, we seem not to know what they are doing. So, but I think for now that everything else is on the right course. Thank you again for being here.
All right. Thank you, Nkechi. Thank you. That was nice. Imperfect, I'm not sure. Do we have a queue, or do you want us to take a queue?
Yeah, there's a queue, but before we
go ahead.
Let's
finish the queue we have before we go ahead.
Okay, yes, I just made mention about the fundraising, because you shouldn't feel like we've just we've left them behind or something. Like they should always try to reach out to us anytime they have such issues, So that was what I was just trying to point out there, nothing really much. But thank you guys for your own suggestions, like you guys rightfully said. Thank you so much. The next person should be Odike Osaro. Is it Osaro, please? Odike, are you there? No. Okay, please make it snappy for me. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Is anyone hearing me?
Loud and clear, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, my obedient family. I greet the whole show. Jimmy, I see you. The National Youth Leader, sir. Thank you for always honoring our invitation to come and speak to the obedient movement. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It shows that you are very passionate about this one Nigeria. And any day, anytime, I will always root for you. Well, I don't want to talk too much today. I just want to discuss politics. I kind of got the conversation concerning some of these, our House of Rep and Senators, what they are doing. Well, for me, I don't blame them. I will use that word. I don't blame them. Some of them are really misbehaving. I must say this. I am very, very mad at them. But at the same time, I don't blame them, because they got it at the platter of gold. They didn't work hard for it. It was a big grace that.
You just heard what our husband is now like. Some of them are still new to the system. They're still like I just have the system. I don't think it is that nice to start using such words, but it's not if you help. It's not. That's okay. Noted. Okay. The reason why I was kind of I was going towards that direction is because you see what's going on now. We did well. Obedient, we did well. The revolution just got started, and they never gave us a chance that we're going to perform to this extent. Everything will correct itself by 2027. I want to talk as National Youth Leader. I want you to let me address. Hello. I want to ask a question.
Wait. What do you mean by 2027? I don't understand that part.
So 2027, where some of these Labour Party some of these our candidates are misbehaving, some of these our House of Reps are misbehaving.
Some of them will not go back again.
Oh, okay.
Some of them will not go like that Uche Oga guy. I will say it again, I'm not afraid of anybody. That Uche Oga guy, if that guy go back to House of Rep again, as an obedient, I will be very mad. So that's why I said 2027, everything will correct itself. Okay? So the national unity, I just want to ask a very simple and direct question. I know I asked this question last week before. The reason why I'm saying this is because our people say stone where person they see they come. They know we enjoy person for eye. Me, I'm obedient 100%, and I love Labour Party so much, and I also want to contribute to my own quota. I will not say what I did during the election. I won't say it yet. But I will not see something going wrong or what the people will not like. It will not happen. Then I will not start blaming myself. I'm talking of Edo State next year election. I want to beg you, sir, do everything within your power to ensure that this money bag don't infiltrate the party. Because, obedient, it was this same thing that happened in Imo State. I plead on behalf of Imo State that obedient, let us overlook what happened in Imo State and still give them our support. But it will not happen in Edo State. I will not allow it to happen in Edo State. I don't want to call names here so that I will not sound very offensive. I don't want to say any name here, but I'm from Edo Central in Edo State. And currently, if you check the trend, Labour Party have plenty aspirants. Plenty. Almost 20. Even my chairmanship candidate for Labour Party, local government, is also here with me. Almost 20. Is it a Labour Party? Where were these people? Where we were kind of, we needed these people to stand for the party. We needed these people to kind of support this party. They were on the other side laughing at us. We don't have structure. We don't have this. Now, Labour Party has turned to the little bride. They are now flocking me like what I cannot explain. National Unity, I'm talking to you. Please, use your kind office. Please, if they do it, I'm sorry, I cannot predict what will happen. You know, Edo State is a very, very dicey state. All the mamas and the papas for you, they sabi politics well. They sabi. So any little mistake Labour Party make, it will just scatter, and I don't want something like that to happen. So Labour Party, National Unity, please, assist in any little way you can to make sure that this thing does not happen. Because I will never be part to any arrangement that will work against the obedient movement. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Chief Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good to you. Over to you, please.
And Prince Kennedy, good afternoon. Nice to be on this platform. Mr. Kennedy, I listened to you very well and I picked a few points from what you said. But before I go to your points, I want to say to Jimmy, you said, you asked the question, is there an oath of secrecy that bars our reps or senators from speaking out? I would say there is none, because Senator Smart Adeyemi spoke out severally against the killings across the country. And I remember one instance where the current wife of the current illegal president said to Smart Adeyemi, "Are you an opposition?" Everybody remembers that. When he was speaking against the problems in the country, this woman in the Senate said to him, "Why are you speaking? Are you an opposition?" So she preferred her party over the lives of Nigerians. That is on one side. On the second side, Senator Eyinaya Abaribi also was very, very loud in speaking out against things happening in Nigeria. So there is no oath of secrecy anywhere
in that house, either the green chambers or the red chambers. That said, Mr. Kennedy, I would like to differ in some of the submissions you made. I felt you were giving excuses for the silence of our elected officials. And this is a trend that happens in Nigeria a lot. We say, oh, wait now, it just starts. Now 1 week, now 2 weeks, now 3 weeks. Nobody has control of time. Is it that our reps or our senators do not understand the urgency of time? Is it that they don't understand? This is how we kept quiet. And we kept quiet for over 6 months. Buhari could not choose ministers. We have also kept quiet for another going to 2 months now. The illegitimate government, as illegitimate as he is as a president, has not picked a CBN chairman, a minister of petroleum, a minister of finance, or anybody to man our economy. And Nigerians are suffering. Talking about the need to learn, they won elections on the 25th of February 2023, and they were sworn in almost 2 months later, 29th of May. This is enough time for you to know the job you have applied for, the job you have been offered, and what you are going to do for your people. Why are they keeping quiet when they are going to receive 25 million monthly for doing nothing? So if they are going to keep quiet and study how to become legislators or senators or whatever, they should also refuse the monies they are earning for this time they have kept quiet. It is totally wrong. We need to start hearing from them. All of them. No one should be exempted. All of them, because there is urgency of time in this period. People are slaughtered across Nigeria every day. People cannot eat 3 times a day in the country. People are learning to trek because they can't afford transportation fares. And we should allow them to learn the process of what? You campaign for over a year that you want to become a senator or a rep member. Are you not coming back to tell me all this time you were preparing for the exam? You did not know anything. You were not learning anything. You didn't know what impact you are going to make in the lives of your people. They are supposed to start from the first day to make significant changes. If Obi enters, I take back my word. If when Obi becomes president tomorrow, if I don't see significant changes in the first 1 week, I will drag him. That is how it should be. Life and time is not in our hands. We must act now because Nigeria is in great danger. They should start speaking. We elected them to speak and not to keep quiet. That is what we elected them for. So if you can go back to them, please tell them there is urgency of time. And we demand to start hearing from them because we know how they rode on the wave of Mr. Peter Obi. We know how much we spent in funding the campaign that robbed off on all of them as senators and as rep members. We are demanding they start speaking now. They must first of all start by rejecting the bogus allowance that they are being given for doing nothing in that house. They are doing nothing. We are going to the same market. We are all going to the same market. There are children who cannot even get 50-cent food in a day, but they are going to receive 25 million plus every month for doing nothing. They should start speaking. If they protest and say we reject this thing, the whole Nigerians will see it as okay, LP senators, LP rep members are making a difference. Not keeping quiet and acting as if they deserve whatever they are earning. It is so annoying and irritating. I hit my mic. Thank you, Jimmy and Mr. Perfect.
Okay.
Can I make a little response? Is it possible?
Prince Kennedy, you will. I'll give you the mic after this. I just need to reply a few things you said. So to start with, the secrecy thing you mentioned. All right, this is my take over that. People know I don't sugarcoat things, and I call people out when the time is right. But the comparison you made about Smart Adeyemi and one other person, I want you to understand something. Smart has been in the house for a very long time. And you can't compare Smart speaking up that way compare him to these newcomers. Now, there was a particular video that was circulating on social media. The very first sitting they had, one of the House of Rep members came out and was speaking. He was sponsoring a bill. The very first day was sponsoring a bill. You need to see the way they shut him down. You need to see the way he was molested. It was treated like a new someone that is just new in town. You know, when you just get into secondary school, boarding house, and you see seniors hanging around, seated on bunks and everything, and you walk into the room. The way you just sit down in boldness and they'll just start laughing at you, or you ask a question and they just look at themselves. And this guy was embarrassed. He had to sit down, and one of the hold cargos there stood up and was correcting him that this is not how we do it here. You are new here. You might want to take some time and learn how we do things here. This is not, it was so embarrassing. And based on that, I believe, this is me speaking, I believe it could be a reason why they are holding back, okay? And I believe it could be a reason why, because when they get into power, let me tell you how this thing works. When they get into power, there are some things that they will see that we can't see. And what I mean by the secrecy part is the fact that they can tell them, it's different now. If you guys don't do what we want, this is what will happen. These guys, they have no idea how they operate. What Mr. Prince said is quite understandable because he has been in the system, right? And that's the reason why I said they should engage with the obedience on social media. So when they engage us on social media, it's not more, it's not in their, they don't need to do it in their house for them to video it, for us to see it on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. No, they need to come and have a one-on-one with us. This is what we are facing, guys. This is what is going on, and this is why you think we can't even speak. You see, when there is dialogue in situations like this, we will understand what we're dealing with. We will understand. And another comparison I want to correct is you cannot compare Peter Obi's effectiveness to theirs. They don't have any power. Peter Obi has the paramount power. He can easily just sign an executive order. And I agree with you that if it doesn't work, or if you don't start seeing changes within 1 week, 1 week is a lot. A week is a lot. Look at what happened when Bala Blue entered. The very day he entered, his decision making scattered the whole country. So Peter Obi's executive order will start from that very day. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he will agree to do any inauguration. The kind of Obi I know, he will just hit the ground running. He will postpone any inauguration. There's no money to waste anywhere. He would focus on getting the country back on track. So for us to be fair, right, I suggest we should calm down. Okay? What we should request is for these people to come and engage us, because when they were doing their campaign, they jump from one space to another space. They know as they follow people talk anyhow. They need to engage us in that manner now. That is the point. So if they cannot engage us on Twitter now, then there is a problem. So, but from Prince Kennedy's point of view, he's been there. He understands what might be holding them back, which is quite understandable. So, but now that we understand from his point of view, it should let them know that we are willing to engage them. We are willing to have a dialogue with them. By the time they start telling us these things, we'll write it down. We'll create a hashtag about it. We'll start talking about it. They will feel the heat. That is my point. But that was a beautiful submission. Let's have Mr. Prince Kennedy to give a response to that, and we'll go with the next speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jimmy. I think you spoke most part of my mind with respect to the submissions made by the last speaker. I don't believe in, for example, I keep saying this, and people may not be happy with it, but I got offended, I got tired with the system in 2015. When I kept shouting and telling my colleagues, my friends, that don't you people read history? The man that you are projecting that is coming will change. Was it not the same man that under his governance we went into recession for twice in 1983 in history? Is it not the same man that messed up the system? I kept shouting. The majority of my friends said they are tired of a Professor Jonathan, a PhD holder, that they want somebody that his certificate cannot be proven. The majority of Nigerian youths countered me. Now it's too urgent for us to expect 35 parliamentarians to change the whole thing that has been happening over the years. But then in 2015, many young people, many youth that are obedient today supported Buhari. I'm sorry to say this. Why I'm saying this is because you say that they need to see the fireworks. See, my brother, I am a very practical person. I don't believe. Ask Mickey. Ask people that are close to me. I don't do too much meeting. Ask them. That's where people. In fact, I decided to be coming to space because I feel that the strength, the passion of obedience are here, and they're always engaging the system. They want to know what's happening every day, every minute in Nigeria. That was why I saw it, I've tested it, I've done a research on it. I saw that they want to be updated every minute for their passion not to go down. That was why I made the decision to be coming to space. Anytime I'm called by any obedience space, I will come. But see, my dear brother, it will not be as quick as you think, as long as we've not been sworn in as the number one. I can prove it to you if you are willing to learn to understand me, because I said I worked every day from my house to National Assembly for 3 years, 3 good years as executive legislative assistant. So when I tell you this is how, and when you mention out of secrecy, let me tell you, anything discussed on the floor of the house, you can't see any of them except the spokesperson of the house coming to talk about it on national TV. You cannot. It's against the order of the house. Okay? So if you feel that this 25 million, he will come and tell you that the house will never do it. He can't tell you that. He can only tell you that, in my best opinion, I will not support it, and he will not support it. And even if 35 of them didn't vote for it when it comes to the floor of the house, what difference do you think it will make? Understand my point, sir. I didn't defend them. I will never defend them, because if you check my track record, I am a young man that believes that things must be correct in this country. I've had opportunities to leave this country severally, to run away, to do businesses, France, UK, and US. I didn't go away. I told them, will I come back to write JAMB? Because I wrote JAMB like 7 times, before I got admission. And I said, will I come back to write JAMB? Because I wanted to go to school. I spent 7 years at home before I got admission in this country. And I graduated from ABU, Zaria. So when I speak some certain things, I've been on ground. I know how it works in National Assembly. Forget it. If we don't get PO, we'll still have difficult times ahead. I'm telling you, except we have majority in the floor. As long as we don't have majority in the floor of National Assembly, and PO, if PO, God forbid, PO didn't come, my brother, we still enter into another one chance. So don't rely on these men, on this. I'm not saying this because I'm defending them. I'm only passionate and telling you how it works. So they can only, even if they come on the space, they will speak the grammar. And again, Jimmy, you said there are a lot of them that were coming to space. We will start from those that came to space to beg us, to beg the obedient to support them. We need to start from them. Let them come. If you give me the list, I will invite them, I will engage them. They have to come and be speaking on this space and tell people what they have done and what they are doing. But therefore, in terms of what my last speaker said, that they need to do the smart idea, he spent how many years in the house before, in the Senate, before he started talking. And he started talking towards the last end of Buhari regime. When he saw that was he giving ticket again, he was already out of favor. Before smart idea, he started speaking. Go and check. So some of them spoke because of the system have happened to them. When the system have not happened to you, you will not look at Dino Melea. When he started speaking, people were clapping. But the system happened. Dino Melea was the one that brought Buhari with Atiku, with Saraki to us. They made Buhari happen to Nigerians. But at some point, he started speaking again, and people were clapping. People like us cannot clap. As long as you fail to see it in the first instance, I will never trust you and I will never believe you. If you see it in the first instance and stop it, that is when you will be celebrated. Look at Barrister Douala, sir, what he's saying today, talking about one manner of good governance and this. But this is Douala that have options of Tinubu, Atiku, and Peter Obi, but he went for Atiku. He never saw competence in Peter Obi, but today he's preaching competency. So people like that, we don't use them to compare when we are talking about revolution that we've started in Nigeria. So please, I'm not raising my voice, my good brothers. Please, please, bear with me. I'm not raising voice. This is a family affair. It's a family talk. So understand me. It's out of the same passion that you are speaking with. I'm also speaking with. Forget about this leadership of 18. I will not be a leader forever. You understand? I became a leader because I made myself available. Many of us refuse to make ourselves available. If I hadn't made myself available in 2017 when I joined Labour Party, would I grow to becoming the national secretary and becoming the national leader? No. So it didn't happen in 2017. It didn't happen in 2019 when I ran for election. It didn't happen. But it's happening in 2023. I'm still here. So please, let's understand that this thing is about process, protocol, and principles. And you must understand that if we have the president, one executive order can kill the salaries of National Assembly members, can kill the constituency allowances. One executive order can make politics as non-lucrative as anything you can imagine. It can turn political party politics as difficult as people think farming is. Farming is good. Farming will even be better than politics. One executive order. So we need to understand that. Please, thank you. I leave the mic.
Okay, let's do it this way. We have a lot of people requesting for the mic, and I would love every single person to have a go at this. So, guys, please, it's gonna be a question session. It's gonna be a question session. If you have a question for him, you can just ask your question. He's going to answer you. Can take a couple of questions and he answers in a go. But to be fair, Prince Kennedy, in regards to the point you made that about 35 of them, that whatever they do will not make any difference. Yeah, that might be the case, but it will be better for us to know that they actually made an attempt than for them to just keep quiet, regardless the fact that it might not even impact their decision. But them raising their hands and standing up against it is going to make a lot of difference. So, but yeah, I just thought I should be fair with that point. Thank you so much. And we'll take I think I just said the queue, so we'll take the new queue. We want people to ask their questions, and the moment your questions are answered, we'll drop you so we can bring other people back up. If you want to ask another question, please request for the mic. We'll bring you back up. I just want to do this so we can take as many people as as possible. So, Chief, you've spoken earlier. I guess you want to have a response to that question, so you can do that, and you go down. Thanks.
Just 30 seconds. Jimmy, the comment about the video of the rep or senator on his first day, and he tried to do something, and they said, "Oh, this is not how things are done." Jimmy, you are a proponent of not following the conformity experiments, and I like this about you. And we have said, obedience are disruptors. So if we are disruptors and we have succeeded in pushing 35% for the first time into a very important arm of government, then we should not be scared of having to see them make some disruptive moves. Even if at the end, it doesn't change the status quo in the assembly now. They have sown a seed that will germinate and people will start to look at those seeds. They can make alliance with PDP and APC members. These people are not demons. And the reason why they have been demonic is because they have not found somebody to show them an alternate perspective of how things should be done. All of us are the same has been the statement of the Nigerian political sphere. But one man came and told them, no, I am not part of you, even though I am with you. All governors from Nigeria earn pensions. Obi refused to earn.
even though he was part of the governors forum. They had a meeting and they decided this is the way to go. So they have to start disrupting little by little to break that conformity experiment. And I like the part where you said they should come back to us and engage us. It is very important. If you don't speak to us, we don't know what is going on. And like what Chris Kennedy said, the house, if they don't release the tapes, we will not know what has gone on in the house. So they should start speaking to us back door. We need to start pushing and pushing. There is no time. Thank you.
All right.
We will not know what has gone on in the house. So they should start speaking to us back door. We need to start pushing and pushing. There is no time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Thanks. You have a legitimate point. Let's just consider that he probably hasn't seen my conformity experiment video. But yeah, that's a fair point. Thank you for that. All right, let's take a new queue now. Imperfect, do you want to do that, or you want me to go ahead and take a new queue?
If we Otumba, then we'll go to Liberty, please.
Okay, in that order.
And please, I can't reply DMs. For those sending me DMs, please. I can't reply till like tomorrow evening. I have like 22 hours more. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. I just came up to thank Prince for controlling his temper. You understand? I'll ask him a question at the end of this, but I just want to clarify something. Having been in government before, yes, you take oath of secrecy in government, both as a civil servant and as a public servant. In fact, you renew that oath of secrecy depending. For civil servants, I think they renew. I think is it every 2 years or every year? I can't remember for civil servants. I was actually a public servant actually. So you take oath of secrecy. So please, guys, most times I've said let people try and get very close to politics to understand what's actually really going on. So that's one. Secondly, the house, because I've been there before, is not somewhere you just stand up and talk. Number one, they are in control of your mic. That's first. Secondly, they're in control of the media that will put the mic towards you. So you can just be shouting there. If you've noticed when you watch the TV and you see when someone is talking at the office mic, you will not even be hearing the person at all till maybe the person touch it back, or maybe they reinstate control of that mic. So please, that's one. So no matter what a Labour Party person wants to do on that house, they are 100% in control of it. That is one. Now, please, I want to now talk to we, the obedience, and use that as an advice for us. Please go and join Labour Party. Go and get involved in politics. Please. During the election, we elected 6 senators out of 109. In the House of Reps, we elected 34 House of Rep members out of 360. And let's not just talk about rigging. Rigging did not happen everywhere. Most of us, in our infinite high wisdom, decided to go for APC and PDP. These are obedient. Let's tell ourselves the truth. In these elections. Now, how do you want 6 people to go and fight 103? How do you want 34 people to go against 316? You see, if there was like 40-60% of Labour Party there, you can disrupt the olden style, move around this, they cause commotion. Okay, now they've wielded their chairs, but those days they throw chairs. Okay, so it's possible. Now I'll conclude. I'm seeing your hand now, please. I'll conclude because we are putting our brother on a hot seat. Mostly people just come up because they don't have that political knowledge. They begin to ask questions that are non-questions. Now I'll round up with this, please. The only thing you can demand for Labour Party is a free and fair election. That's the only thing. Because you telling them to hand the candidate ticket, that means you're trying to make Labour Party do illegalities. Now, the Imo State election, that's why I kept asking, was it free and fair? And from the feelers I had, it was free and fair. And finally, the 2 contestants, first and second, were money bags. So there's nothing like money in this kind of politics. If you want to join, go and join Labour Party so that you can influence primaries. If we flood that party in mass, we get what we want. You cannot command what you did not take into. That's the simple thing here. You can't demand what you didn't give. So please, let's stop putting our brother on the hot seat. I'll just yield here. Thank you, guys.
please. Thank you.
Thank you, Otumba Adike. Brilliant points. Thanks. Lady Liberty, how you doing? Good day.
Good day, my brother. Good day, everyone. Good day, Prince Kennedy. Right now, you said questions. Basically, am I allowed to make a submission? Probably a question will come out because a few things have been said now. That kind of disrupted what I wanted to ask, especially from the last gentleman's submission.
We actually decided to go for the question because of the amount of people requesting for mic. But the thing is, each person is allocated with 3 minutes. So if you can do both your submission and question within 3 minutes, that would be lovely.
Okay, that's fine. I guess what I'll say will probably highlight a possible question and that Prince Kennedy might respond to. I think, Otumba, I like your submission. This is exactly what the problem we are facing. I know, Prince Kennedy, you are doing your best to engage youths, to encourage obedience. And I think one of the things I want to see you do clearly and openly is canvassing for youth's obedience to join Labour Party, especially in Nigeria and abroad. Because I'm saying this because we are here in the UK. There are lots of obedience here in the UK. Lots of them are not in the Labour Party in the UK. And it's the same problem we're facing in Nigeria, we're facing here. And the few obedience I've managed to talk to, and they've joined Labour Party here. But I'm still encouraging and canvassing for a lot of obedience who are here to please come and join it, because we can only bring about change from within. That's one. Then number two, I think my question is to do with the fact that, Prince Kennedy, I understand, we are not politically naive. And I think sometimes when comments like the ones that tend to come out to make us think that we obedience, we are stupid. We are not stupid. We are not naive. I am 50 plus, I'm 51 to be precise. And I've lived through bad governance. I have lived through all the military dictatorship in Nigeria. I am not naive. And one thing the obedient movement has shown us is the fact that we are not naive. All we are saying is, even if it was only one person we managed to put into that National House of Assembly, we are not asking you to go and become Rambo, because we know it's not possible. We want to see engagement. We want you to make yourself accessible. The same way, and I think I'm actually not encouraged for you to say, oh, you want to contact them. It's this, we don't have to request. They should be coming to us to say, look, to be updating us, to be informing us. We don't have to request them. We don't go and tell them, oh, come to be. No. That is what they should do without us requesting them. So I think the message we will give to you now to take back to them is this. We are not asking them to become Rambo. That's all we're saying. Because number one, a lot of us are maybe by not having information, by not knowing what their difficulties are. Because look at how we rallied around Obi, and look at the mileage we've given to Labour Party. Do you think such a mileage will not come to them, even if there's only one person in the National Assembly? It just takes one. It takes one David to house the Goliath. So please, let's not say, hey, yes, we know there's politics, yes, we know there are systems, but there are other things that are practical, that are pragmatic, that there's no excuse for that not beginning. We are not asking them to come and tell us the secret of the National Assembly. We are not interested in them. Engage with us. Let us hear your mind, your plan, what you're thinking. Let us hear, okay, what is it? So please ask them. We are not requesting, we are demanding. Because if they don't, we will mobilize in their constituency, they will be taken out. And that is the truth. So from day one, we are marking their scorecard. We are not messing about. We are not messing about, because we know how hard, how strong we have, even including me. All of us here, we have invested our blood, our energy, our savings. Me, this 4 million I get, I know how many I donate to support groups. So please, I'm not angry at you. I understand you are trying to inform us. Yes, we know. We are not stupid, man. I have 2 masters. I have 5 degrees. I'm not naive. I know. So, but we want the people who have gained from it. We want to see they themselves. We are not asking you go and review. You can collect the 25 million, because seriously, me too, it will be hard for me to resist. But what we're saying is engage with us. Let us know who you are, because apart from the list of 35, I actually can't remember one name apart from 1 or 2, because initially at the start, 1 or 2 of them, like the minority caucus leader, Bring him on board. That guy looks like somebody that is astute, that is articulate. Let him engage with us. Let's know who he is. We want to be able to collaborate and know who these people are. We want to put a face, a name to their faces. So please, tell them we are demanding it. We are not requesting it. And I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Liberty. That was clear. Thank you. That was beautiful. One thing that is clear to everyone now is the amount of brilliant minds behind the media movement. We're not naive people. We're not ignorant people. We're just desperate to have our country back, and we will get our country back. So, and I think we should also appreciate Prince Kennedy because he's not being forced to come and have this conversation with us, and the fact that he see it fit as something he has to do. We need to give him his flowers for that because if we don't have access to him, we won't have access to these so-called legislators, to come and engage with us. And that's the reason why I think he deserves the position of being the youth leader. Thank you so much for blessing him. Thank you.
Please, Jimmy, let me acknowledge him being here.
Yeah.
Prince Kennedy, I'm not you, please, I hope you don't think I am. It's just that you are the messenger and we want to be able to channel our messages through you to them, and I know you see it for simply that which it is. It's not a personal attack to you. Thank you, and I yield the mic. And I have to say, well done for being available to us. Well done.
Honestly,
thank you.
Honestly, I thought about it now. I mean, out of all the political parties we have in Nigeria, how often do you have engagement with the youth leader? How often do you have engagement with the top hierarchy members? It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Ms. Kennedy. God bless you. We won't take it for granted. Next person now should be, hold on, I think it's Mr. Zion. He's been here for a while. Mr. Zion, how are you doing?
Jimmy, can the youth leader address some of the topic that was raised, please, because he wants to address it? Thank you.
Is that correct, Prince Kennedy? Do you want to do that now?
We can take more so that let's take one side so that we can appreciate that thing. I think
Bring it.
is for the world in the next chapter, how we have to respond so that we respond to our time as we go. What I can take on this one now.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I wish I could get more people.
All right. Let's take Mr. Zion, and after him, you can just answer the other ones. Then we take a new set of 5 people. All right, sir. All right, Mr. Zion, how you doing? Go for it. 3 minutes. Yes. Keep an eye on my hand.
Good afternoon to you all. And Prince K, I want to appreciate your coming. In the Game of Thrones, the house of the Targaryens were people that enjoy perpetuity, one for the information that was handed over to that generation. And I want to see the Labour Party as the house of the Targaryens in this particular Game of Thrones in our National Assembly. And Prince K, you are the leader of the Targaryens house because you have been there. You know the game for the past 3 years. You knew the tenants, you knew the proponents, how these things work. Sir, if you don't gather the house of the Targaryens, which is the Labour Party representative, and hand over this information to them, our efforts will be in futility in that house. Your effort, you being there, is the one that is going to liberate us. And let me also put it to you, sir. I stand in a point with you because I'm from Bayelsa. Eric Seraki was once my former governor. Of course, I was headlong with him. But when he went to the house, it became so quiet. We tagged him to be the white shark. But unfortunately, he got there, we can never hear his voice. So what you said is true, totally true. But should we remain in this same status quo where they will shut you down? Don't you think shutting newcomers, shutting them down is what an application to intimidate them not to speak? You are there to represent your people, and there's some certain status quo that should be broken. Some certain order that should not be handed over to them. So I want to put it to you, sir. Those other members need not to come to us. You should deliver the message to them and also converge a quorum in house that you people should be discussing, because the safety, the prosperity of Nigeria now lies on your shoulder. And before I also move forward briefly to sir, I know we try to move from this other side, but in political science, what to call the out of presence discussions, there's what to call the body language, and there's what to call behind the scene. Most of the issues we talked initially, let me be honest to you, you don't need to come out and say certain things. Your body action, the body language of the Labour Party representative there should send an impulse to us, we that are on the streets, to know what to do. You're out of court. You're behind the scene discussions. Who are you discussing with? What are you saying? What are you doing? Because for now, let us be honest, we are all blinded. With all what is going on in this country, nobody is even telling us what to do, what is going on, the information that are being divulged. Your body language. I live in Rivers State. I'm a proponent of the former Governor Nyesom Wike. Under his leadership, one thing that man using conquering people and conquering a lot of political ground, number one is body language. Number two, it is behind the scene conversation. So, sir, I want to ask you, your behind the scene action, who is catching the impulse? Your body language. Who are those that are going to pass the message down to the people? Mr. Zion, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Zion. Prince Kennedy, you're up for the response.
Okay. It's also good you find me so that I control myself. Beautiful. Trying to make him do this. So I'm going to monitor what I say anyway. Let me start from the last speaker. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, Wike is not a good example for me. And like I said, if you've missed it, you've missed it. I don't care who you are. Even if you are the richest or the most intelligent, but the smallest opportunity you have to prove to me that you stand with the masses, you miss it. You are not I can't be your father again. So Wike is not somebody that we should be mentioning in this kind of space. And I'm sorry to say it's just a matter of personal opinion. It doesn't mean anything good to Nigerian politics. Is it the secret conversation that he's winning with that he went and be telling the electoral officers that if you don't declare result, I want you to declare, you leave Rivers State as a dead person? Is that the kind of secret behind the scene conversation that me need to be doing? No. I've done so many behind the scene conversations that brought successes in this movement. For example, Obedience saw my interviews, they saw my engagement with the media. That was why they believed in Abure. When that time came, the youths across the world were listening to me, they were following. They believed in my submissions that being the youngest person in the National Working Committee of Labour Party, that I should be able to stand with them. And I've always tried to stand with the Obedience because I'm the youngest. It's our future that is being messed up with. And it's affecting me the way it's affecting all of you. So I told people, my body language was all over the place. It was my body language that made people to stop our papa from coming to court. I'm sorry to say it. Whatever you can interpret as the body language, that is what it is. But I know that my body language have always encouraged the Obedient to be members of the party, to come, let's join me and hijack the party. Let's take over leadership of Labour Party. From what? To the National Working Committee, to the NEC members. Let us take over leadership. You know, when we take over the leadership of the party, it will be easy for us to say, if it's possible, we can say, don't pay anything, come and run an election for us. Labour Party has been doing this over the years, but you know, they do it to anybody that make himself available. But now, if the Obedient takes over Labour Party, we will not do it to people that make themselves available. We will rather do it to people that we can judge to be credible, competent, and people that possess the character that we can trust. These are the kind of people we need to be giving some of our platforms to run an election. So, but if you are not inside, you are not inside. That is the point. If you are outside, you are outside. Sometimes the culture of Africa, the culture of Nigeria, respect, elders, this and that, have really affected me. I have to be sincere. Sometimes I will be in the NWC, the only voice talking. Sometimes they say Kennedy talks too much, but they know I'm making points. But they end up and say you don't have respect for your elders. So many of the national officers have tried to clamp me down. My friend, can't you respect even if you don't respect my grandma, respect my age? You know, some of these things are what I've been passing through, but I kept making sure that my voice is heard in the party. So let's not bring in people that have expired in politics. We have not done anything different from every other politician in Nigeria. He's part of those that cause pain to the obedient as far as this movement is concerned. I'm sorry to say it. And the other person that talked about the need for me to continue to advocate for member obedience to join the Labour Party, that is what I've been doing. I think the person says he's in the UK. I was in the UK. I had a couple of engagements. I had many youths attended. But you know, my problem is this, that even what we are preaching, good governance, you know, cohesiveness, even our people in the diaspora can be, they fall for it. You know, the politics we play in Nigeria is even smaller than the politics they play in the UK. At some point, my sister, I don't know if you were in the program, I don't know, but I was in the UK. At some point, I said I will not do anything partisanship in the UK because I had like people were fighting themselves, party members fighting themselves. And even in the Labour Party here in Nigeria, the fight is not as intense as it is there. You know, you can imagine that level of politicking. And we are talking about salvaging the political situation in Nigeria. There is nobody that is perfect. There is nobody that is better than the other. What happens to all of us is time and seasons. If God has placed you in a particular place and you were selected to be the chairman of a political party at some particular time, it does not mean that you are the best at that point in time. What is required for every other person is to submit under you, give you good advice, guide you, direct you, just as you people have been doing to me here, motivating me. Nobody have attacked me here. I see people that are guiding me on the need for me to improve, the need for me to do this, do that. It's a family. I'm the national leader today. Tomorrow it may be imperfect. It may be Jimmy. It may be Life. It may be you, Liberty. It may be Nick. All of you on this platform. It can be you that will become the national leader. So if I'm the national leader, it doesn't mean if I know how to speak English or speak phonetics, but I'm the national leader. You will just submit and guide me and help me and direct me and advise me until we achieve the success. That is why I've been advocating for the obedient. Even when I was in the UK, all the obedient I met, both online and offline, I tell them that the only thing they need to do to salvage the situation is to join the party. Take ownership of the party. If you say you will jump from here to another political party, you will not achieve it. You will not achieve the revolution, what we need to do in Nigeria. It's better since we've pinched tent with Labour Party, and let me tell you, before I joined Labour Party in 2017, I took time to read the manifestos of all the political parties we have in Nigeria. And you can prove me wrong. Labour Party is the only political party that have a documented manifesto. Bitobi didn't just come to Labour Party. He took time to study all the political party. They schedule him for NMPP. They schedule him for SDP. They schedule him for YPP. But Labour Party is the only political party that have a documented manifesto. They have policies. They have gender policies. They have people with disability policies. They have anything you can think of. Just get across that their manifesto. You get to understand. And that was why P2B saw that the only political party that aligns with his visions and his message is Labour Party. And that was why he joined the party. So every other person that believes in good governance, that believes in social democracy, the political party, as far as I know, that you should belong to in Nigeria is Labour Party. So that our message will be strong. You preach it this year, preach it next year, preach it for the next 10 years. you will now see things will change for good in Nigeria. So please, I've been advocating for obedience to join the party, and I will continue to do that. And if you have any idea of how I need to improve on doing that, you're welcome. Send me messages, feel free. Ask questions, ask my people. They must communicate to me, and I must take proactive measures to make that happen. Engaging the NAS, yes, I've been doing that. In fact, I started that as soon as I came back from my holiday. I visited some of them. Some was on media. Some have not gone to media. But at least I've started engaging them on the need for them to, do things that people will see, and for them to also be accountable to us. I've said it, governance is all about everything about accountability. You account for your time, you account for what you do with the money you receive, you account for how you have spoken to the powers that be on the need to affect the life of the citizens. And the people I met, I can assure you, they are truly doing well. And for a start, I can't judge them within this 1 month, but I think they are trying to pick up and they will do well. For example, one of them have told me that the first week of August, he's the one of FCT. That was the first person I visited. He's doing FCT Indigenous Youth Summit. I will be there. And he's planning it, everything, he's sponsoring it. He wants to bring out the rural youth, people in the rural areas, both women and men. You bring them out, put them in a place, we speak to them on the need for political participation. Nobody have done it in the FCT, but he has started it, and it's happening. After that, he's hosting us FCT Abuja North Youth Summit. I've been engaging him, and he wants to do that. The guy from Enugu State, I've engaged him. He's planning a couple of things for us to do in Enugu, to bring out youth engagement, where he wants to empower some youth on entrepreneurial materials, things they can start working with people that have skills. He has that in mind. There are a couple of them that I have engaged through sincerely. I'm not defending them, but with the interaction I've had with them, they are good to go. Many of them even offered me to come and be their SLA, but I was advised that I can't do that at this point, at the level where I am. And truly, I cannot go and sideline myself to be SLA to one person when I'm reaching out to the entire Nigerian youth. So it's better I engage them directly, engage them and always come out here to tell you this is what is happening. And like I promised, I'm going to work on getting 1 or 2 or 3 of them be on this space with me as soon as possible. That will happen, and I don't say what I cannot do. So, but I know within the short time, I will bring 2, 3 of them to join me in the stage with you. Thank you.
All right, Prince Kennedy. Before you go, what's your time frame? How long do you think you can be on the space with us till you move to your next engagement?
I have another space, but I don't mind. They just brought food for me. I've taken something. Let's go on. I will be here. I have another meeting by 5. I have another one by 8. But they are all virtual meetings, so we can continue. I'm enjoying it. It's not as if I am free or I don't have any, but this is a very critical part of what we are doing. For those of you that are in the diaspora, you deserve the accountability. You deserve it. Honestly, because most of you want to even come back to the country, but because security is not there, the system is not trustworthy. That is why most of you are not even comfortable coming here. So I will be happy to always engage you people to tell you what is happening. Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I would appreciate it if you can be brief with the response so we can take as many people as possible. I don't want them to be disturbing.
I'm sorry, I will.
I don't want them to disturb you. Thank you, sir. All right. I've got a lot of DMs. Trying to sort out one by one. Mr. Zion, someone followed you now. I don't want to mention names, but if you can check it out and follow the person back. That being said, people that have asked questions, I'll like to drop you now. If you want to ask another time, just raise up your hands. I'll request for the mic, rather. I'll bring you up. I just want to bring a lot of people up. A lot of requests is coming up on my screen right now. And we want to try and take as many people as possible.
Okay. Sorry, I've just been briefed by the media manager that the engagement for 8 is rescheduled. So let's fire on. Let's fire on.
So, but we'll try and take as many questions as possible and as quickly as we can respond to them. Okay, so we have a special, special time to schedule another space for one of the senators, hopefully sometimes next week. We're not certain, but we'll make an announcement regarding that afterwards. Okay, so let me just use the power of the House to override the initial queue. I'm gonna go with Mag now. He doesn't come to ask questions often, but I'm definitely certain he has an important thing to say. So I'll use the power of the House to bring him up so he can ask his question and give his submission. Oga Mag, how you doing, my elder brother? Mag, magnific day.
Yeah, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all my wonderful obedient family here. In the words of Real Everbest, I appreciate you all. Imperfect, I got much love for you. Jimmy, man, we're from way back. So thank you for all you guys are doing. Much love to every one of you. And my sincere apology for those that were ahead of me. I'm not trying to jump over every one of you here. I kept getting DMs that I have to be here. And I saw the reason for me to come up, when obedience call for you, you just have to show up, So I thank you guys and I appreciate you all. Prince Kennedy, good afternoon, good evening. I think it's evening right now in Nigeria.
I didn't know you were here. You're also doing a great work. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are doing wonderful.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you, and I appreciate all that you have been doing till date. But I'm still waiting for you to respond to my invite. I check your DM and get back with me, please, sir. It should really be very much appreciated. Let's talk one-on-one so we can see how we can rub minds and come up with something that would be really tangible for this movement. Everybody that knows me, they know that I'm 110% obedient. And I say it any day, anytime, And honestly, I would say this to you, sir. You have really softened my mind when it comes to the Labour Party. I would be honest with you. You have really softened my mind. I appreciate all you do. I honestly do. I appreciate you having that listening ear to hear this movement, and I appreciate the fact that you are willing to work with the obedient movement. And I would say, trust me, great things would happen to Labour Party if you continue in this part and you listen and you are very receptive of them. Labour Party would be an outstanding political party in Nigeria, because the obedient movement, what I see in this movement, I bet you, and I will tell you for free, even Peter Obi has not seen it yet, because I interact with them on a daily. I eat, sleep, dream, think about this movement, so I know. So thank you for at least, showing interest and wanting to give them that audience, But I would also suggest, I say this, suggest, please, please, and please, as the national youth leader, look for a way to get the chairman of the party to come on spaces like this, to debrief the youth about where the party is, what the party has in plan for them in the next year or thereafter, happenings about what is going on in general about the Labour Party. Let the Labour Party chairman engage, even if it's an hour or two. Don't let it be just you. Make them have access to the other ESCOs. Let them speak their mind so that they can hear one or two things from these people directly and they can engage them. This way, they will be interested in coming to the party. They will be interested to be part of the family. Let there be that synergy, that relationship, that concern. I bet you it will be a seamless transition for them. Set up a workshop between Labour Party and obedience. Let this workshop be about leadership, be about how to grow, how to form a formidable political party where everybody matters in the society. This workshop will bring about how they would view politics as something that would benefit everybody, even the common man on the street. It gives them that sense of belonging. We are at a forming stage. I know this work is enormous for you, but you can do it, sir, bit by bit. You are feeling the beat of these people. And I believe it will be a smooth transition for you as time goes on. And I want to call your attention to this. We have some obedience that were not part of Labour Party, that were obedient in another party. They just left their other party and joined Labour Party. It would be nice if you extend that hand of welcome to them. Make them feel accepted. Make them feel wanted and appreciated. You have people like Isaiah. Most of us here, we know him. He is now a Labour Party member. He used to be in a different party. But because of this obedient movement, he has joined Labour Party. Barrister Juliet, the same thing. These are people that tomorrow, believe you me, no political party can come and stand an election with them that will defeat them. They are at your beck and call. Give them that warm reception. Let them believe in Labour Party. Let them see that they are being appreciated and they are going to be accepted with both hands. Many more would come. Labour Party is here to stay. I am telling you, sir, it is either we make it what we want it to be or we just let it die. And by the grace of God, I know with somebody like you and your intentions for the party, this party will definitely rise above every other political party. Thank you for your job well done. I must commend you, but please, please, and please, take it seriously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you so much. You are one of those obedient that I appreciate so much, even though I've not had direct engagement with you, but I've taken time to monitor. A whole lot of you are doing wonderful. I appreciate your point. So many of them are well noted and actionable, and I'm going to swing into action. My team will also reach out to you. I really want to work closely with you. With those lofty ideas, you are so much respected in the space, and I would like you to also work closely with Imperfect to see other things that we can do together. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Imperfect is my brother. We will connect. No, don't worry. We know how we connect, sir. So thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. Okay.
All right. A sincere apology to everyone else. I mean, Oga Mag is one of the frontliners of the movement, and we cannot deny his participation in the movement. So him coming up to ask questions or to give a submission is actually important to me personally. You know, he doesn't come on spaces often, but once he comes to just give his own, little sense, and I'll do that every single day, any day, anytime. So, but thanks for the people that given the patience to let this happen. Thank you. God bless you. All right, moving on real quick. We're meant to have yeah, go on.
Please, CAC, then NECA, then Obi Abia, then Joe Biden, Omar, then Ichi, please. Thank you.
Great, no problem. Yeah, in that order.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your wonderful moderation. Can you guys hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kennedy, as well, for making our time to come to address each and every one of us. Yeah, I'm going to get down to it real quick. I think after that, having doubts even in myself, like when it comes to those ones that we elected not coming to address us, even like you rightly said before, that in the chamber, that you may not be opportune to speak, to be given the mic for over years or something like that. I think that if they are not allowing them to make speech there, they should come. They have social media teams. They should come and address us, because it's social media that put them there. We need direct engagement with them. We need to. I think that one thing about governance is transparency. Letting the people know what is going on. Even we are not like Lady Liberty said. We are not expecting them to be commandos or to go. But we need to know their stand. We need to know that they are speaking out. That they are speaking out for the people. They are there for the people, not the other way around. And if we say that they are new to the job, are they new to collect the money? No, they are still going to collect the money and all that. So we should call a spade a spade. I think that obedient movement, we are not a kind of headless mob. We just want Nigerian to work, because even here, I left my work here in UK, and I have not even been long here, but I came back, which I'm proud that my state, Enugu State, we delivered. I came back there, although my previous account was blocked. I don't know, maybe it was reported and all that, So this is just it, We are calling out for them to come out to address the people. We need them to come and talk to us, for us to know their stance, That's just what we are demanding. We are not demanding anything. All these policies that have been going around, is being a kind of anti-policy against the people. We need to know their stance, Like you rightly said, you said that they are going on a break or something. Whenever they are back, please. It's not that we are acting like Liberty said, we are demanding that they should come to address the people. Talk to us. We need to know what is going on. We are the ones that put you there. We are the ones that put them there. Even if they are one, we just want, even if it's just one person, we just need to feel the person, to feel the person's impact. Like Senator Baribe anyway. Senator Baribe was once is a minority leader during his discussion, but he was speaking up. So we just need them to kind of to be on the side of the people that put them there. So this is just what we are demanding for Mr. Kennedy. Please let them know that we need them to come to address us and to talk to us. It's going to change a whole lot of narrative. Believe you me. Thank you.
Thank you, CAC. That was straight to the point. Thank you. God bless you. Perfect. Who's meant to go next?
Madam Neka.
Okay.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for hosting this space, Mr. Imperfect. Thank you also, Prince Kennedy. And I know that it's not easy to be on a hot seat like this all the time, but you make the effort to stay despite what you hear. So I just came to make a submission, and my submission is, I'm from Imo State, Idato South. And if you see the guy that has been quite vocal in the House of Remember that has been quite vocal, Ogochinyere, Ikenga Ogochinyere, he's the guy representing me, representing my constituency. That guy engages us, like, because of the obedient movement, like when Peter Obi was vying for presidency, I joined all the groups for my community, my village, the constituency level group, the zonal level group. I joined all. And I know when they were doing the campaign for him, he was very active. And I know the Labour Party guy was who I felt should probably have. I don't even know if it was the Labour Party person, but I was distracted then. I know we're all focused on Peter Obi. But what I can tell you is that since he entered office, he has kept us abreast bit by bit. Most of the motions he raised are things that we discussed in meetings. He holds calls, he sends videos, like maybe there are questions that are asked in maybe the Idato North and South Federal Constituency group, WhatsApp group. He would probably send a video answering if he cannot make it. That guy will win second term. Nobody, even if P2B, when P2B gets his mandate today, a Labour Party candidate will not win that guy in my constituency. That guy does the work. If he cannot come, he sends people. And that guy, they literally almost killed him before the election happened. Hope, my current governor, really went after that guy's life with all he had. So my point is that when I still talk about Labour Party, it is because P2B is there. And it is because of the investment I made into the party, because of P2B. Before now, I didn't know Labour Party even existed. So I would love if you would give this feedback to the people that need to hear it. There are new people. Yes. In fact, the first time you spoke, it sounded like more like you were giving excuses, and I didn't really like that, but you've clarified. So I'll round up by saying these guys are new, but they had months before everything started to have learned. While they're in the party, they're a minority, we all know. You are expected to be able to have influence. You're expected to cultivate relationships. That's what lawmakers do. I don't know why it will not come to Nigeria and be different. I don't know if Labour Party reps don't understand the expectations on them. So is it that they didn't prepare for office, or you did not prepare for the job that you were interviewing for? I don't want us to fall back to that Nigerian default mediocrity that, it's because of, it's not because of anything. If you are earning even 10 million, the expectation on you in a private business is high. You are expected to produce results, not give excuses. So imagine when you are in a place where you directly impact the lives of the people in Nigeria. How can an excuse be that you are new, you are learning, you don't want to, but you are earning money and people are dying? People will literally die from some of the policies that have passed in those houses. So I'll conclude by saying, there is no excuse. We understand they cannot come up and just say certain things, but you can report to your people and tell them, this is not what I want, but that's what happened. You can be proactive and try and mingle with all the other parties. Get the job done. How you do it is not really anybody's business. They are expected to be problem solvers. You cannot be earning millions and you cannot solve problems. What are you doing there? So I'm saying this now so that we start thinking. It's not when 4 years come now. You were expecting certain places where people have worked. Labour will not win there. It's simple. If you want Labour Party to be a strong party, and I speak because I'm invested, even though they've been annoying me, I would say that we need those guys that have gotten there to show that people did not make a mistake. If not, it will be very hard to say vote Labour Party again as obedient. And I'm not even going to talk about my state now. I'm talking generally. It will be very hard. So that's just my submission. Thank you, Prince Kennedy, again, and thanks for coming up to this space.
All right, thank you, Nika. Obi Abia.
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening.
Loud and clear, please. 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to appreciate everybody that's taken already and Prince said. What I want to say is that I would like him to convey this message to Labour Party in general, they should be intentional in whatever they are doing. They are not intentional. It's not all about money or money bag. There are some states that Labour Party shouldn't be losing in any election. Edo states, for example, and also Imo states. That is the kind of politics they are playing in Nigeria now. Is money bag politics and passionate politics. And in these two type of politics, you have to be intentional. You have to be 100% to the core, because the citizens are fed up with what is really happening, and the majority of the citizens are in favor with people that pay passionate for politics. Sincerity, like people did. If Labour Party are serious, are intentional in what they are doing, they should listen to what the people are saying. There is no account that the Labour Party is not supposed to lose Imo State. But with what is happening, we are going to see anything can happen. Nobody can predict. We should listen to what is happening and be intentional and go with it, because you cannot compete in regality or in money back. Now go with passionate politics, people that want to listen to the people. That is how things is going to be done. A lot of people in Labour Party, people that have position, thank God now he's engaging. We have a lot of people that we have. I don't know how they rate their office, but we have various offices that are supposed to be busy in social media, in radio station, and communicating with people. Like people being in their Twitter, they need to be active, talk, so that people will see you. A lot of people don't care about money now because they understand what is really going on. This is the message we need to pass to the leadership of Labour Party. They need to be intentional. They need to start communicating with people. Edo State is coming up now. We shouldn't do Edo State. We should go shun anything about money back politics and go to the person that listens to the people, the person that people love. People are ready to sponsor anybody with their little money. We don't want to hear politics again in that Edo State. Someone that everybody knows that this person has been in this party and he has nothing to show in his previous position will not come into Labour Party because we want to win the election. We just hand over. No, we should be intentional in what we are doing. And everybody that have office should understand that Labour Party is not like other parties that have various different governors or president or first governors that will to sponsor them. Now, we should look for people that are honest, people that have tested in their previous office and delivered. The people handling some office in Labour Party need to come out and be engaging people in various in different states. They shouldn't be mute like other people. They should be communicating so that people will feel them. Because Labour Party now, everybody knows that Labour Party is the real opposition party. They should position themselves well and show that if they are not serious, they should just don't waste our time. They should be intentional in what they are doing. Go for the best. Go for people that care. Go for the people that feel the pains of the people. That is how this thing is supposed to be done, because we are not parties that Labour Party is not an established party that already have money in the bank. I already have people that will throw money around. Everybody is depending on P2B popularity. Can't they create their own popularity? This to go change the last person spoke about. This person has made a way. He has always been there speaking. People are ready. People stood by him, his mandate, and he faced a lot of challenges from the sitting governor of Imo State. He won the election even without not doing much campaign, because people know what he has been doing before now. This is what we expect from Labour Party. They should position themselves well and not depending on people's popularity. There are some states Labour Party is supposed to be doing very, very well. Benue State, Plateau State, and Edo State. Let them just tell these people everybody has a position in those states should be intentional in whatever they are doing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Obiabia. Prince Kennedy, do you want us to take one more person before you reply that, or you want to do that right away?
Take one more so that we'll take them.
Okay. All right. Let's go with whose mic is on? Mr. T, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. Let's go with who's meant to go next? I think it's Joe Obedient. Yeah, go ahead. Joe Obedient, my brother, how you doing? Joe Obedient, you there? Okay.
Joe Biden, are you there? Okay.
Good afternoon, guys. Good morning, good evening. Depending on where you're speaking from. I'll try to be quick. Good afternoon, Prince. I really enjoy your energy, and there's a way you push confidence. You show off confidence, and it rubs off on a lot of us. And please keep talking, don't stop talking. Quickly, I will talk about our legislators. Sorry, I have a cold, so I might not be very clear. So I'll talk about them. I think the idea that has been floating, and I think it has been floating for a couple of days, that these people should there's not much they can do because they are new and a lot of that, and there are just 35 of them. Please, that needs to be killed. That idea needs to be killed. The reason why most people that are in power usually don't get support, don't succeed in doing things when there are just a few of them and they don't have the numbers, is because they don't have the support of the people. I remember last year, May, June, people were looking at Peter Obi with the eye of, we might, even if we don't, including myself, even if he doesn't get it, we'll get far enough. But I think with the support of the people, and because he was vocal, he didn't say because he didn't have the numbers, because he didn't have the people. He built the numbers. He told us that his numbers are going to come from the marketplaces, from the poor men. He built that confidence in us, and we started working with that. If our National Assembly members just go and hide under the shadow of they will be oppressed, and this is how it is, this is how it has always been, there is no way we can help them. They should try it, and people should try to go against them. Then we will fight for them. We'll find a way to fight for them. It can happen to Dino, and Dino would get punished because he doesn't really have the support of the people. But we put them there. They didn't rig their way into office. We put them there. So I'm very sure we will fight for them. And I know the people around them will fight for them. So they should not let that be. They should be vocal. Push for a bill, even if it that happens. Secondly, I want to say something. I think Mark touched on it a bit, and I would like to say it. Please, in all my experiences with us Labour Party members, I find us always saying, join the Labour Party to obedience. I keep saying that. Before I joined, it took a lot for someone to convince me to join, because I am among those obedience that don't want to be part of it, that don't want to be partisan, but I was convinced to join. But for those that there are a lot of people like me that are still brings or that connects both Labour Party and the obedience. So whenever that time of disagreement comes,
You won't pick up your calls, now call you back.
that is publicly known, even if it has to have a name, but something that binds obedience and Labour Party together. It shouldn't just be the force and try to convince everybody to join the Labour Party. It is me. I will round up now. I got tired of it. I actually was frustrated to join the Labour Party. I'll put it like that, because I really didn't want to join. So please, there are a lot of people that are still like me. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, Joe Obedient. Thank you. Prince Kennedy, you up now.
Soundbite. If you've not been frustrated, you can't work for a change. That's the truth. I was frustrated politically in 2015 when Buhari was declared winner. And I decided to go into politics in 2017. Honestly. So as long as you were frustrated to join the Labour Party, you are on the right direction. This is very humorous. I know we can laugh about it, but that's reality anyway. The truth remains that if you have not been pushed to a corner, if you've never been pushed out of your comfort zone, you can't make progress in life and career. What we're talking about is not just politics, it's about life and career. You must be pushed to some corners, to some difficult situation. Like Nigerians, the obedient, the youth in Nigeria, both home and abroad, have been pushed to a point where they can't breathe. That is why they push back. Look at the first push. The first push gave us a president in the waiting, gave us Abia governor. Enugu is coming, gave us 35 rep members and gave us a senator. The first push out of frustration. So I would like more of this frustration to be coming so that the best of Nigerian youth will be coming out. That's by the way. So I want to speak on somebody that mentioned something about money bags and money politics. I initially do not want to say things about this because as a political party, the truth remains that you welcome people into the party. There is nobody that will come to a party and you say, don't come. Money bags or no money bags. What I expect people to be saying is that we need to make sure we get people that have a stake in their state. People that have invested in their state. People that have done things that you can see. Look, let me tell you, P2B spent money. It's a money bag for those of us that think politics does not require money. For example, even INEC, even the Electoral Act will tell you there is budget that you should have, project and have before you talk about running for governorship, Senate, House of Rep presidency. You should be able to say, I am prepared, I have this. You know, I don't want to cite example with Edo and Imo, but all I know is that the Labour Party will be giving the obedience and the members of the party free and fair primaries. We almost made a mistake in Imo, and I say I don't want to be discussing this Imo state. I don't want to be discussing it. We always made a mistake. At some point, the party said, this is the candidate, and that is a sin. It's rigging. The party cannot say this is the person that you go to the delegates, go to them as an aspirant. You must go to them. It costs you money to go to the rural villages, to every ward, to canvass for vote from the delegates. Even if we are going to do direct primaries, it will cost you money to go to every ward to bring them out, sensitize them, share your vision and dream with them. It costs money. It's not cheap to do that. If Edo State has 24 or 17 or 19 local governments, for you to go, every local government has like 10 wards or 12 wards. For you to make sure your vision and idea of governance reaches the people at every polling unit in your state, you think it's cheap? It's not cheap. So this thing about money politics, let's not be talking about that. Let's be talking about people's character. Verifiable livelihood. Who have they been? What have they done? What can we say about them? Where do they live? Where did they go to school? Who are their classmates? How many girls did they break their hearts? How many families did they destroy? What have they done in terms of family? What have they achieved as a person? Track record, that is what P2B means. That is what P2B represents. It's not about, there are people that may have all this record, but they cannot have 20,000 to buy the ticket before people will start seeing them. You need to bring yourself to that point where you will be visible first. People will now know you. There are a couple of them, even obedient, running election in Edo State. They have proven themselves, they've shown support, but we don't know.
Is that me or we lost him? I think he's getting a call. Can anybody hear me?
Yes. Have they been able to do some social works? Have they been able to convince the people in the rural areas that this is their...
Prince Kennedy, we lost you for like a couple of seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe a call came through for you.
Yes, I think there are a couple of calls trying to come in, but
all right.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But please, my brothers and sisters, it's important to understand that in as much as we want to represent our people, representing people is not cheap. If I tell you what BO spent on this election, you will cry for him. Okay, you use yourselves, the obedient movement alone, bought phones for people here in Nigeria, bought laptops for people, paid accommodation, hotel bills for people, paid transportation, paid flight ticket for a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people that they did this thing to do not acknowledge, do not even make the people know that it's so person from US, from UK that sponsored this thing that I'm doing. Majority of our people didn't say this is the person funding us. But you are there spending this hard-earned dollars and pounds, but you were not acknowledged. So if you didn't put in money, maybe this movement wouldn't have, or not maybe, if you had not invested your energy, your time, your money, there's no way this movement would have gotten to the point where we are today. So let people stop saying this money by coming into the party. Let me tell you, the party needs money, in case you don't know, but the party cannot wait their hand towards favoring anybody. That is what we should be asking, that the party should not favor anybody. Once we come for primary, the party will support whoever that emerges for the primary. Imo State, we have Atan Achono. Imagine, from the best, many people were there. He emerged from the best primary that I know personally because I was there. I participated in the entire process. There's nobody, none of the candidates that didn't share money. At some point, one of them gave $10,000. An aspirant gave $10,000 to one of the committee members doing the Congress. For them to bring in the different delegate list, is that person not corrupt? He's obedient to, if I mention his name, you will marvel. He gave the money. If you see how somebody was moved out of the hall in that primary because the agenda couldn't work, people like me will never allow illicit engagement where I am. So the agenda didn't work. They threw human being like football from the hall. There are a lot of things I don't want to start speaking on the space. But if you will keep bringing this emo thing, I will begin to tell you what happened. In that emo, there's none of them that ran for that primary that didn't spend money. All of them spend money in one way or the other. They even gave delegates money, all of them. But strategy was what was lacking in some of them. Some of them got the strategy correct, some of them lacked the strategy. And some of them even gave money to specific persons. So this issue of money bags, the main thing is for people to go home, go to their grassroots. Party cannot say because you contributed the highest money in this obedient movement, we will leave the ticket for you. If you do that, litigation will bring down the party. In case you people don't know, even in Imo, that we are straightforward enough. If you see litigations, we have about 4 litigations now challenging Atan Achono's candidacy. In Imo, now in Edo, we have 26 persons. Somebody say it's 20. It's a lie. Already we have 26 persons declaring interest to run for Edo governorship. Who do we say, should the party now say is this person? Every other person don't come. No, let me tell you, the competitiveness in the whole process is what makes a political party a political party. But the only thing is that with the obedient enforcement, the party will be straightforward. The party will not be supportive of anybody. Whoever that talks to the people and will come that day, we stand and conduct a credible primary. Whoever emerges, the obedient will support the person. The party will support the person. That's just the point that I want to make on that. So that we understand that politics is about participation. There are people that don't have any stake in their state. Somebody was running an election in Imo State. He never had a house, a bungalow in his village. He doesn't have a house. When he comes back, he lives in his father's house. In his father's house. And this is somebody coming to control the resources of a state. Let's tell ourselves the truth. We can't be deceiving ourselves. No. If I said I want to be governor of Imo State today, I must have, if it is industry, even if it's a cottage industry, I must have them. I must have done some rural electrification in my community. There is something Anambra, my maternal home people used to do. Before they give you chieftaincy, you must have done roads, you must have brought electricity, you must have done some tangible things in the community. Not now that you just go and buy motor, you buy car for the king, they will give you chieftaincy. It's not done like that. You must have done some tangible thing for you to prove that yes, you can represent the people at the highest level. You don't just come from the air because you spent $1 billion in obedience campaign and you want us to give you ticket. It's not done like that. And some people are speaking because of the point where the have a particular candidate, have a particular aspirant in mind. So, and you are speaking that if that particular aspirant didn't win, heaven will fall. Heaven will not fall. That's the truth. Heaven will not fall. The party, what I want you to be doing is to be preaching transparency, accountability. Let the party be transparent in their engagement, in their primaries. For me to commit I almost committed a political tragedy in Imo, trying to project a particular aspirant. And eventually the aspirant didn't win. Is this aspirant still in the party today? No, he's no longer in the party. He has moved on. Okay. You understand? Governance and the last one, please. I'm sorry. Some of these things can be very, very provocative, but I'm sorry. It's not anger that I'm speaking with. It's just out of anger. Yeah. The last point I want to make is governance and campaign. When people talk about they say this in campaign, say this and that. Governance is deep. We have 3 tiers of governance and government with a defined roles. Don't compare PO with the parliamentarians. Don't compare parliamentarians with the judiciary. That is, don't model it up. They are different. They will never be the same. What we are praying for is for executive that will understand these differences to come in. If PO comes in, like PO believes in rule of law more than any other person, more than any of us here. Some of us don't trust, and we are shouting that judiciary will not do the needful. PO believes that the judiciary will do the needful. That man has so much confidence in judiciary because he has been a beneficiary of judiciary. He has so much confidence that judiciary will do the needful. That was why he comfortably went to court. Assuming he never had PO that I know, assuming he's someone that does not have trust in judiciary, PO wouldn't have gone to court. He knows that judiciary will declare us winner in this election. I'm going to write it down. Judiciary does not have an exit point in this election. There is a constitutional breach in this election. Divers were not used. Somebody has dual citizenship. Somebody has double nomination. Somebody was convicted for fraud. These things will not just fly by. Judiciary cannot just let it fly by. No technicality can stop it. So don't compare PO to our legislators. They are not the same. Legislators are people that make laws, and they make these laws at the guidance of the executives. If executive bill comes to the National Assembly, they're wrong with it. If Buhari wants to amend our constitution now and say they want every citizen not to come out every day, this rubber stamp parliament will do it with their Papio and their pass. They will approve it. So everything is in the hand of the executive. But if PO comes, when he comes eventually, you will see the independency of the lawmakers. For example, our citizens are requesting that the lawmakers should come and do road, should come and construct schools. Is that their primary duty? No, but because the system is messed up. If you become a House of Rep member, they expect you to come and do road in your constituency. They expect you to come and build primary school. That is what brings about corruption. That is why many of them just steal for this money that comes, because they will use it to go and build school. And our people believe in what they see. If you say you are speaking grammar on the floor, speaking grammar on television, you've not done any road, you've not given them empowerment, keke and bicycle, they will not look at you in the next 4 years, no matter how much grammar you speak. For now, that is the level where our politics is. And we must understand that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Imperfect was trying to say something earlier on, but yeah, go on now, Imperfect.
Yeah, I would like to ask honorable a question, sir. Please don't be offended. Is there any way you guys could enact a law and then have this agreement with INEC that anybody picking a form under Labour Party to contest for either House of Rep, governorship, or whatever, Senate, if the person doesn't get that ticket, that person will never take him from that party to another party for the next 4 or 8 years? Is it possible, please, sir?
Thank you very much, my brother. That is not really we can engage INEC, IPAC. I think IPAC, this IPAC is the Association of Political Parties. You understand?
Yes.
I think such recommendation. I will make this as a recommendation to IPAC. You have a great point. What I know that is working now is that, for example, those of them that have won election under the platform of the party, even the governor acknowledged that last time we met. During the meeting we had with the parliamentarians and P2B, our governor Alex Otti acknowledged it, that they said there is a fundamental crisis, visible crisis, that nobody will leave because Electoral Act have forbidden it, that you can't win election on the platform of Labour Party within 2-3 years. You say you are leaving to another political party. You will drop our mandate for us. We will collect our mandate. You will now go and run an election there and win again. You understand? So that is the point, and the point you are making is very correct. Majority of them, the problem is that they saw the credibility of Labour Party with what obedience have done. So they now see that it is difficult for them to become candidates in Labour Party and be candidates in APC or PDP. So they send their allies, their spy, to come and buy up tickets in Labour Party so that they will keep the party dormant, they will keep the party irrelevant, they will not do strategic campaign, they will not spend money, they will not do anything, their candidate will win. That is why you see majority. This thing is starting happening in Edo now. The people that are shouting should rather vet those people they are supporting to know who is funding them. If Kennedy Chigozie is not, if I don't qualify to sleep in an apartment of 200,000 naira, if you see me sleeping there overnight, know that some money have exchanged hand. That was what I told him about our papa. Our papa that I know that once he comes to Abuja, he sleep in a hotel of 5,000 or sleep in party office, in the cushion in party office. He's not sleeping in the best apartment in Abuja. And you want me to clap for him and believe him? You know, you must be able to identify these people and know when the monkey hand enter the soup. Because if you don't vet them, they were coming to destroy. You think they are running an election? Where did they make the money from? Ask them. What are they doing? If you say Imperfect is selling wristwatch, where is his shop? He will show you. If you say Kennedy is a research, climate change research, go and check my profile on Google. You will see how many researches, climate change related, and articles that have dropped off in my career. He's there. That is, I'm an author. I make money. So what is he doing? I've worked in area council as a supervisor in biometric capture. You go and check the record, is there. So when somebody starts flaunting money, giving you money, sending you, buying you phone, asking what is he doing? It's not about, if it's possible for us to stop that Imperfect, we'll make it a law. What we are now doing is that if you run an election under us, you should not be able to leave the party. In fact, the party can start it. I will make this recommendation to NWC. We'll do a clause. You will sign it that after the primary, you will not leave the party. And that if you leave the party, there's something, there must be a way. You can even share idea with me, Imperfect. Yes, Let's come up with something. It's a very critical issue.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Sir, there's this new trend now. What God cannot do does not exist. So the God of Apapa is working. I don't know. We need to contact him and see how he can also introduce us to his own way of All right, thank you so much. Jimmy, I beg. This place now will end in next 8 minutes, I beg.
And how long? How many minutes?
6 minutes, like by 3:30 Nigerian time. Like next 5 minutes, please, I beg. I beg.
5 minutes.
Honorable need go rest. Yes, me too. Don't try that.
Honestly, please, honestly.
Please. And then we should be having other space again, either Tuesday or Wednesday evening. And hopefully one of the House of Rep members could be around, hopefully.
Yes, we'll continue to engage, please. Imperfect. Let's not give up. We'll continue to engage. I'm willing to always appear, please.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So please, I think Ichi, you should be next, I beg, because now you don't stay here for a very long time. But
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. All protocols observed. I've been listening patiently. Please, let me just first of all chip in something before I go with my question. It's more like a little bit submission. The truth is that whether the kind of people, political parties and Labour Party, I don't think we have
control, or should I say the 100% control on those coming into Labour Party?
I think what we should be concerned ourselves with is we need to put up a structure or an environment that will make it even impossible for such kind of people that will detest to come in. Because if you watch probably Nigerians now, even some of our politicians that will think that they don't use public transport, why is it that no matter how bad they are, if they go outside the country, suddenly they turn into a good leaf? So those are the questions we need to ask. For me, with issue with those states or whatever, I think we already agree that once the primary is credible, let all of them come out. If the people there decide to vote a particular candidate, they will support the person. But this issue of when we start like, okay, we'll decide to go and point, it's just like when we're repeating what other people are doing. Just because you have a kind of a vested interest does not really mean that this person, once they come in and we obedient, some people shout, we'll now start, okay, let's put it. It doesn't happen that way. Unless maybe when we come here, we preach another thing in the backyard, we'll decide to go and probably support some sort of another illegality. It shouldn't happen. I think that's what I want to actually chip in there. The issue of our senators there, I know, even House of Rep, I think we had some principal officers. See, there's no excuse in these people coming out here to tell us this is our problem. Even if they feel that there's an issue, something is holding them from speaking up there. Wait, simple thing is that they should come here and tell us. There is power in the multitude. There are a lot of us here. We can start a hashtag. We can even go and do protest. Okay. But first of all, they don't expect us to know what is happening to them if they cannot come and talk to us. The truth is that whatever goes on there, we are meant to hold them accountable and responsible for it. We don't fear anybody's face. We put them there and all of them knew exactly where we stood, even before the election and during the time of the election. So nobody should come here and give us any form of excuse. They should come and speak to us, simple and short. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Jimmy, let's have one more speaker then. I think Prince will give us the closing remark if possible. So, who should go next, Mr. Jimmy?
I don't know. We're perfect. So, I don't. Now you go pick. Now you go pick. Who go next? Now you go pick. Who go next? Now you go say the thing go ahead. So,
are you there?
It's back to you.
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I really appreciate you. I want to call you perfect. When they say imperfect, I say this man did perfect too. Yeah, crying, don't cry. So I want to call you perfect, my brother, perfect prophet. I want to thank you, Mr. Jimmy. I want to thank everyone in the space, our youth chairman. Thank you very much, Chris Kennedy, for everything. You've spoken well today. I really appreciate. But I want to drop something because this is our House of Rep candidate and the rest. Last Sunday, I was in this space and they were complaining about a House of Rep candidate. And I went to meet him. I said, sir, see what and what is being said. And he took his time to explain to me. So I want to plead with us obedience. Can we stop, if we have any issue against our House of Rep, can we stop discussing it on the space? It's a plea. I'm not saying that's what we must do, because I don't want anything that we bring down their morals and make them look as if we are fighting them at this point in time. Like, when talking about the loan issue that is going on right now in the country and other things that they are trying to do that is not going well with the citizen, when he started explaining to me how many attempts he has made to try to speak in the floor and he has been denied, and he's just trying to be a little bit patient, according to him, that after some time he will just take his fate to the media. That if he try and in a short while, they don't give him the space to speak, he will go to the media. So please, I want to plead with us as a people so that we will not be talking against them here on the space, and at the end of the day, our enemy, our adversary will now use it against us. I say, I'll not be your people, they talk against you for there. They're not even, they castigate you already. So please, let's try and reduce it, because I've observed it in so many of our spaces for some time now. Though I have issue with my Twitter, I just fixed it today. That's why I can even speak. They brought me up on the mic like 2-3 times. I couldn't make any speech because it keep dropping by itself. So please, I want to appeal. Let's call these people inside, if possible. If we want to even talk to them to an extent, if we have another miss than even coming on Twitter space, we should kind of channel where we discuss with them and they passed what their constraints are to us, so that we can bring it here and start doing the firework. In fact, they will not know where it's coming from.
All right.
And they will not know that this years of work that is bringing it. So that's for that. I want to quickly go back to the candidates. Okay.
Next time.
No what?
Imperfect. Now me, imperfect. Now me won't move for trouble. Imperfect. Imagine who is going next? If you look at Boba,
Mr. Jimmy, you are not in trouble.
Okay, Jimmy, you are exonerated. No worry. Okay, right. Now that will touch honorable Judgment Sabek. In fact, they won't get lost. They're not going to allow them.
I understand.
Yes. Now that will touch.
You've got a lot of people asking, so it's understandable.
Please, guys.
So
hopefully on Tuesday or Wednesday, we are still going to have a meeting of space. With hopefully one of the House of members or something. Even if I've already volunteered, even if they can't join this place, I'll call and put them on speaker. They can have even 20 or 30 minutes interaction with them. If possible.
Okay.
So that's what I can do without you, hopefully. So, Jimmy, thank you so much.
Let me just say this real quick before we go. The last speaker, I just want to correct something. You see, that's the difference between the Obedient Movement and any other party you see out there. We'll call out anybody on the space, anytime, any day. It's one of the transparency we're preaching, and it's only okay for us to start practicing what we preach. It should be a pace setter for every single person, and that's what makes us different. That being said, lastly, I think regarding the Edo election coming up, I'll suggest to every Obedient that anyone you want to go for, make sure the person is obedient. Make sure the person is not just people crossing from APC or PDP joining. Let's put our foot on the ground and let them know, look, we're only going for obedience. We have 3 or more obedients that are actually clamoring for this position. Let's put our weight behind them so nobody can come in and just drive or ride on the mantra of our Peter Obi. So we're going with the obedience. So within the obedience, once we get one person, we're good to go, because they want to use the desperation. They know anyone that wins that ticket becomes that governor. It is certain, by the time it will have the backing of the president, which is Peter Obi by then. So let's be smart about our decision regarding Edo State. And the Imo, I have nothing much about it, but as time goes on, we'll talk about it. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Back to Imperfect now.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining. We appreciate it. Honorable, thank you so much once more. Please, over to you, Honorable, just a minute.
I thank you, Imperfect, Jimmy. Life Issues, Mickey. Thank you, guys, for making this happen. I appreciate you. I'm happy to see Magnificent Jude, all our guys that have been doing wonders on the space, all the obedience. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for all what you have been doing for New Nigeria. By the grace of God, before middle of September, we'll have our mandate in our hand by the special grace of God. And before the end of November, we'll be in the villa by the special grace of God. And the new Nigeria we'll all dream for will start to happen to us. We will now trust the system, and the system will trust us. That is how every society works. I appreciate you guys. Please forgive my imperfections. I join Mr. Imperfect. I am not perfect. I'm also imperfect. So please encourage me and help me as your friend, as your brother, as your loved one. Put me in your prayers. I'm interested in learning, in making sure that things works better. That's the only interest I have. If I've ever had issue with you, forgive me, it's not intentional. We are together in this. Let's make our country work again. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much once more. Thank you so much for being with us. Live issues, thank you so much for making all this possible. Also, Mickey, also thank you so much. Everybody down there, Honorable Ada. And for those that couldn't speak, I beg, I no vex. Hopefully next time I take a paper now. Jimmy, I've been compared to get verified because right now I can't reply your DM again till like tomorrow evening. I don't know, 4 or 3 p.m. again. So guys, if I can't reply your DMs, I beg, make no vex. I beg, Twitter.
Sorry, Magnificent. If he's still here, you are still here. I've not seen the message. Can you? I've not seen the message.
Sorry, sir. He has sent it to me. I'm talking with him, sir.
Okay, fine. As long as you're talking with that issue, we are together as well.
Please, can I ask a very pressing question, please?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just very pressing, please.
Okay, sir. Just 10 seconds, sir.
Yeah. Please, Mr. Kennedy, please, I want you to be very, very honest about this issue because it's bothering me. This morning, I was listening to Arise Television interview that was granted to Professor Chris Nwankobia. And the interviewer asked him about this issue of Apapa. It appears that there is an ongoing case with Apapa, and which Apapa is asking to be declared as the authentic national chairman, and to invalidate every primary election that has happened under Abure, including that of PO. So please, can you, it's get me worried. I really want to know what's the issue. And again, I saw a judgment that was flying around since yesterday.
Okay, sir.
On Imo State.
Arigosaki, I think it would be a very good idea if you can send him a DM. Yes, if you can do that with him, so he can, reach out. So we don't bring that up on the space without doing that.
But generally, please disregard every judgment flying around. There is no judgment against any of our candidates, but there is a fact that Papa and Co have not rested. They are still fighting the party, but be happy that INEC have not recognized them. We have the CTC of the next meeting we had in Asaba. The INEC have released the CTC, meaning that Abure remains the national chairman of Labour Party. So they are fighting. In fact, recently they filed a suit for IGP to come and chase us away from our office. So they are still fighting. We still need the obedience to also engage the system. If it is a hashtag, tell IGP that police should not partake in political party internal democracy. Please help us also do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And so that'll be it for today. Hopefully, Tuesday or Wednesday. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Ginny, I beg my brother to have a nice day. Thank you so much once more for co-hosting. God bless you. Everybody, Madam Life Issue, thank you so much. Honorable, everybody, have a nice day and have a nice week ahead. Cheers.
I dey laugh for my corner. Where you dey run go? You go walk.